gonna get this live going. I had to call my big bros though, so we got none other than 13-year pro, three-time All-Star NBA champion Antoine Walker, and also my other brother, root to the Bros, my man, 12-year pro, and of course 2004 most improved. You know, we had to get you in here. So, fellas, what's going on?
What's up,
man,
baby?
we chilling. Well,
Yes,
I'm chilling. Celebrating this Gemini season. Celebrating this Gemini season. In this
yeah,
nice
yeah,
good weather in
yeah,
Chicago.
yeah. Absolutely. Happy birthday, my brother. Yeah, you just got to
Yeah,
celebrate one.
yeah. He been ducking. He been ducking these shots too. He keep
Yeah,
trying to
let's get
run.
it.
Keep ducking these shots. You know his
Hey,
birthday shots. He ducking them.
yes, sir. Let's get them going. Let's get them going. Well, all that said, man, you know, we here at the finals, man. We got to see some good basketball along the way, and now we got the last two, and we get to see OKC against the Pacers. Who would have thought? You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody was really expecting them to go in here and finish where we at right now.
No, but I think that's the
No,
benefit. That's what I'm saying. I think that's the benefit of NBA basketball. The main key is to keep everybody healthy and get everybody through the entire season. So it don't end until the last game until when you know what I mean, the clock run out of time.
Yep, yep,
I think this is actually a special finals because I think you got two small markets, guys that kind of no big free agent signings. Besides maybe Pascal Siakam, they
yeah,
kind of did it through the draft,
yeah.
and I think it's gonna make other superstars know they can win with their own teams now. I think it's gonna open up the NBA. I think this season, like it's bigger than what people think. I think by small market teams drafting well and developing their stars, I think that's what makes it special. Everybody ain't talking about the finals because it really, if you really think about it, even though the MVP is playing in the game, ain't nobody really talking about it because ain't none of them big stars involved.
Exactly.
Correct.
No, you spot on. Like, you know, early on, everybody was like, "Oh, you thinking it's gonna be LeBron?" You thinking, "Wow, these are the teams that they built, they spent the money, they value the team angle versus just the one and the two guys in the big three kind of approach that has happened over the years." And so we actually seen something a whole lot different with the league and in the finals for sure. You know, one thing I definitely got to shout out. You know, Chicago everywhere, man. Like we got four guys in the finals right now that people ain't even really talking about. You know what I mean? Like let's get to it. Like for one, you got Nazi Muhammad. You know what I'm saying? Twine, you know
Yeah.
that's big bro. You know
Yeah,
Kentucky.
Nas is the GM, and he's been with that organization. GM of the G League has been with that organization probably now 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
doing his thing.
he's been there, a part of that organization. I actually watched two games with him, and in the East, the Western Conference Finals. So yeah,
Yep.
he all over it.
Absolutely. And then not only him, then you go over to the other side and Bobby, you know, you
Never.
very familiar with that man. That man, Gennaro
JP.
Pargo. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Yes,
right up the
sir.
way. He right down the street with the Pacers. He doing his thing.
I told him when I seen him in Milwaukee, man, I'm happy for you, man. I say, I know it's been a grind, but unfortunately, you're sticking it out, man. So not only that, the information and the love you got for the game, man, just pour into these guys.
Absolutely. And he's such a smart guard, smart basketball player in general. And he got it out the mud for real. You know, when he went to junior college, then Arkansas, and then you know what I'm saying, then finally made it to the league. And he stuck around for a time. And then, you know, it's funny, when I spent my time out there in Portland, he and I got to link up because he was out there coaching in Portland early on with player
With Terry,
development. So
with
he
Terry,
doing
with
his
Terry,
thing.
with Terry Stotts.
Exactly. Yep, with stats, for sure.
That's my guy I had when I was with the Bucks. Yeah, Terry's a great coach,
Man,
man.
small world.
And that's
But
the dope part about this though. All jokes aside, is that now we get two guys that's like in the front office, whether it's coach in the front office, that win championships. But then we got to think about it too. Let's not forget about James Capes in the finals. So we got Chicago represented. Capes in there too. He
Capes in
referenced.
there.
I saw them write a big article about Capes doing his 13th. I think it's his 13th NBA finals or something like that.
Yeah.
And
13 to
from Chicago,
14.
so 13. Yeah, one of them. So he involved too. So we got our imprint on that. Chicago involved.
Exactly.
Mark
You know, we got
Davis.
one more in there. There you
Mark
go. He's at
Davis.
St.
Hey,
Ignatius.
you can't forget Mark,
All
man.
right, Mark Davis
Yeah.
too. Wow, I forgot about
You
Mark.
can't forget Mark Davis.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
you're right. Okay.
You got the
Oh
Hales
man.
guy. You got the Hales guy in Capers, and then you got the St. Ignatius guy from you know with Mark. So they on the call. So we're gonna see what he do out there.
Yeah, okay. We represent it. We good. We good. We represent it.
Yeah. No, something I gotta ask y'all because in the news right now in the NBA, is two big things that I want to talk about. But one is, and he recently just said something about him, man, we gonna be back, and I love that hunger from him because he's young, he hungry, he don't know no better, but he like, man, I'm about to be right back. I'm about to be the hardest working in the gym, which is a fact. I believe that. But how difficult is it to run it back to back? Like you guys have both been in the playoffs. One of you guys has won an NBA championship. But what's the reality of you actually making it running it right back?
It's a mindset, though. I think that's the approach he's taking. Is that the mentality of I'm going to be here. You're going to work twice as hard. You're going to be on your teammates' ass about, hey, look, get in the gym because we got a goal now because you done taste it. You know what I mean? You done smelt
The
the
blood in the
popcorn when
water.
you walk in the arena. And at the end of the day,
Yeah.
you want to and it feel like it's not complete. So I
Yeah,
can understand his approach of how he just can say that because now you get so close and you like, damn, it's unfinished business and I got to close that chapter.
yep,
I mean, he got his early success. He reminds me of even with Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown, watching them closely and seeing how they made deep runs and finally got them one. It reminds me of that. Even Kobe, but Kobe had Shaq, but Kobe had early success in his career. So it's always tough. But I think for Anthony, and we all know this, he got a little gun shy. Whether he want to admit it or not, he got gun
Yeah.
shy a little bit. So you live and learn. I
yeah.
guarantee you the next finals, the next
He
playoffs that
ain't
we go
he
through
ain't gonna
next
show
year.
change none of that.
So he was a
Hey,
little gun shy. I know he didn't want to he wanted to downplay it, but he got a little gun shy. He don't know that you gotta when you that man, you gotta shoot that ball 25, 30 times and live with the results. And I think he ain't understand that. But I bet he gets it now.
yeah. I think he got the right guys around him to make the right decision. I agree with him. I'm just like, bro, like you got the dog in it literally all the way up to that point, and all of a sudden it's like you kind of, I don't want to say timid, but he wasn't really ready to let that thing fly and attack the rim like he hungry for it like that.
I think it was mainly the adjustments.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? He put a smaller guard on him. Therefore, when he drives to the basket, got a bigger guy stepping up. It's like it's I wouldn't say younger pains, but unfortunately, when you that man, you that guy that's gonna be making those plays towards the end of the game or throughout the entire game. You're gonna have to be prepared to see stuff like that on night in and night out.
got you, got you, got you. That makes sense. Now, something you even said, making those adjustments. We talk about coaching. How important was coaching at that level, knowing that you're not playing checkers, you playing chess?
You gotta do your
Well,
homework.
coach is important. Yeah, coaching. But the thing I don't like about Minnesota, well, Minnesota don't got enough ex players involved on their roster as far as coaches to me. And that's
Yeah,
not taken away from their coaching staff. They've done a terrific job. But I think you got to have some ex players. Sometimes it's always good to have that ex player that played to kind of push you and work with you every day and kind of instill that confidence. I think that's another thing that's a little kind of they don't have that one guy that's behind that bench that's like pushing Anthony Edwards and challenging him. That's what it looks like for me. And obviously, I'm looking at it from afar.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I feel you. I think that they missing that one piece, and I'm interested to see who it's gonna be. If it's gonna be somebody to step up, but you got a couple of pieces out there in free agency, you can figure out what it's gonna look like. Now
Yeah,
let
they
me
they
ask
right
you.
there.
No, yeah, they right there
No,
for
go ahead. They
sure.
right there.
Let
They
me ask
definitely
you
right
this:
there.
the other side of coaching. We just saw the Knicks. They went toe to toe in the Eastern Conference, but then they end up letting go of Tibbs. Like, what you think about that move?
I'm disappointed in the Knicks. I think obviously Tibbs has done a terrific job in 5 years of rebuilding that team up and getting them to be a good playoff team. You're talking about 4 years in a row making the playoffs. Sometimes it's hard. Everything got to align to get to the finals. Everything has to align to get to the championship. Carl Anthony Towns was not healthy. I think the
Yeah,
owner had to remember that he was not healthy. Your
right.
second best player was not healthy. Um, and it just makes it hard for coaches. I mean, what do you got to do to keep your job? You got to win an NBA championship to keep your job. It makes it hard. So I don't know how Bobby feel about it. I think it's terrible, man. You can't be firing these coaches that's making deep runs. Cause what like Mike Malone, what do you guys expect these coaches to do? If they making
Yeah,
deep runs, everybody not gonna win a title. Every year is gonna be different. You can't just switch the coach. Sometimes it gotta come from it's everybody as a whole. Everything got to align. So it'll be interesting to see who the Knicks hire after this.
yeah,
And Jay, I swear I agree with you on 100% because coaches coach, players play. So unfortunately, like you even alluded to, the fact of having guys that can relate to the players on the bench. It's a multitude of things that can go into winning and losing. But when it comes to actually the hardcore facts, is what it is, man. And
yeah,
we know we didn't play this game long enough to understand that you got to be you got to get a chance. It's just like a player getting hurt, coming back, and not getting the opportunity to get back on the floor.
right,
Like, come on, man. I was a hell of a player before this. So what makes you think I can't do the same thing? Give me a chance.
right.
Yeah.
Do you think that Jalen Brunson, him being the guy, he was the leader of that team. Do you think that he could have done more? Sometimes we ask about players like, hey, you being more vocal and standing up or sticking up for coaches and going to management saying, nah, he's our guy. Do you think guys like him or Karl Anthony Towns or any one of them should have been kind of in the GM and been like, nah, don't, that ain't the move right there?
Well, I would. I
Wait,
mean, we
wait.
don't know for sure. We don't.
Go ahead,
We
Twan.
don't know for sure. We don't know for sure. I would hope that those guys vouch for him. I would hope that James Dolan asked those guys' opinion, what he thought about Tibbs. But sometimes management may not even bring you in.
Really?
It's hard.
Correct.
We can't really say because right now we don't know if they knew. Maybe it depends if they knew or not. I mean, I would hope though, from the success that they've had and the best players being as good as they've been under Tibbs, you would think they would support him. So it's interesting to see what if they even asked him.
No, I got you. No, that makes
And if,
sense.
and I just think that if that wasn't a question for the key guys as the face of your franchise and you not even asking them,
Yeah,
so like sometimes guys have a nasty taste in their mouth coming back, but unfortunately they still have a job to do. So unfortunately, you know what I mean. When there's sometimes you got to keep certain crew together. We understand the numbers,
yep,
but at the end of the day, you still got to play this game, and they play this game like they fucking love it. So at the end of the day, you got to give it your all. But like you said, you want to keep coaches. I think Tibbs could have done a better job of using the bench instead of waiting until later in the playoff in the series. But like you said, there's certain things that coaches do, but that's why staff got to be A1.
yeah. No, that makes sense. All right, now let me switch gears a little bit, right? Both of you guys have both played in the playoffs. You guys have played several years, nearly a decade of basketball in the league. Uh, what does your body feel like at this juncture where you actually showing up and playing in the playoffs? Like, what's that feel like right now? Where those
I'm
guys are
gonna let
showing
Twan
up?
go first. I'm gonna let Twan answer this first.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, your body you feel good. You in the best shape of your life right now.
Okay.
You in the best shape of your life, so your body responds real well. Obviously, you're not practicing right now, so everything is really just games and getting individual work in. But your body feels great. You feel like you're in the best shape of your life. You're in optimal shape right now. You can run through a wall right now. So
Mm,
this is actually the best time because now you really just playing the game. So your off days are spent getting treatment and probably getting some light shooting in. You're not really doing much running besides on game day, so you feel real good right now. So I would say you feel this the best. This the best part of this when you feel like you're in your best shape right now.
okay.
I think so for the most part. I would agree, but then again, like you said, a lot of guys, depending on minutes played,
Yep.
fatigue does set in. So, like you said, guys that start to hurt themselves at the end of the year might be a little dehydration or some other things that could possibly be going wrong, or if they have medical issues. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, yeah, when you see these guys rip the fuck up, and they out here in the back, yeah.
Yeah,
Literally, I can't wait to take the shirt off after the game.
yeah, because they're
You
in the
know what
best shape
it
possible right now.
is.
That's it. Everything. Give me 1 second. Oh man. All right, we good. It says something. What should I do? We good. We're gonna keep it rolling. We ain't even gonna stop. We just gonna let it rock. But no, that makes sense. You talking about they in the best shape of their life. You know, you think about it, people got mileage on their bodies, and I know you guys did as well, you know, playing so long. And, you know, we look at the Pacers right now. Let's talk about them first. You know, they doing it. They got a well balanced and well oiled machine. They solid on defense. What do you think? Do you think that they're coming into this game as the underdogs, or do you think that they're the ones the ones to beat?
To me, personally, I think they're the favorites. I mean, I know OKC had a great individual season and won 60 plus 65 plus games, but Indiana team has been together like 3 4 years now. A lot of people keep forgetting that this team has been together 3 4 years now. So I like they should have confidence. I mean, they should have swag and confidence right now because that group has been together for a while. So I like them. I know a lot of people got OKC to win it, but I like Indiana. I think Indiana got a really good chance. They both play fast. They both get up and down. They both got youth. So I think the series is for the taking.
That's true.
And I would say literally Indiana, from watching them play against the Knicks, is no one guy
That's real.
out there and not go 30, and they looking for him. So now the game is known to say like feed the hot man. Whoever that person is that given night, they looking for him. And they filling in from behind them. They gonna let them take the lead. So that is the hardest part of a team to have a scouting report and to actually key in on one or two guys because it's hard. The thing is, anybody get hot, okay, now you got to make the adjustment. If you don't make that adjustment fast enough, you're already behind the eight ball.
That's real.
Yeah.
That's real. Yeah, I'm excited to see what they end up doing. Now, Halliburton, I feel like he came in, got a chip on his shoulder. Once they put out saying, "Hey, buddy, you the most underrated person in the league," I didn't agree with that statement, but he took that as a chip on his shoulder, and he's showing out right now. Like he truly is really playing at a high level, showing why he belongs there and be able to be talked about with the best of the best right now.
But chip on the shoulder, there's no pressure. Let them think that shit. I'm gonna come get 40 every night. So at the end of the day, it ain't no smoke. Okay, well I'm gonna show up and show out. That's what it is. Think I'm underdog. I'm gonna get
Like
it
I said, I'm
done.
getting shots up.
Yeah, I'm getting reps. I'm getting good reps, and y'all ain't looking for me. I got you.
Yeah, yeah,
And then too, you got to remember he was one of those guys that him and Jason Tatum were two guys that got snubbed in the Olympics. You know, they didn't get a chance to get big minutes. They got DNPs. I mean, he's playing with a chip on his shoulder too. So we can't forget
You
that
should.
as well. You know what I mean? He got a lot to prove now. So winning the championship is going to be huge for him to be able to say, you know what I mean? After that, you put him on a team with the elite 12 guys in the world, and then you don't give him any playing time. But now he's the one playing for the NBA Finals, so playing for the championship. So that's what it speaks volumes. So his play speaks for itself. So he has a lot to prove.
what do the Pacers have to do to
Right.
get it done? Because when you looked at this last series, you look when Halliburton had the ball, they're gonna blitz him. And you look at his stat line, he's gonna get the assists, he's gonna get the points, he's gonna get the rebounds, and it's gonna be balanced. But he doesn't need the ball necessarily to do what he needs to do to get the win. What do you think that the Pacers actually need to do beyond just running it through Halliburton? What do you think they need to do to get the championship?
I think the Pacers have to respect Shea Gilgeous-Alexander as the MVP, and I think you got to double team him a little bit. I think you got to make those other guys beat you. I don't think, even though you got the size to guard him one on one, I don't want to take 35 or 40 points one on one from him. I want to make him a passer. I want to see if those other guys can beat me. I think if they do that, that gives Indiana the better chance to win the series. You can't have Shea get 35 and then two other guys got 20 apiece, and then they got seven guys in double figures. You gotta cut the head off. You gotta try to stop Shea. I think if Indiana want to win, I'm gonna make somebody else beat me. If somebody else beats me, I won't feel bad losing the championship. Think about it. Have we seen anybody else on OKC? We know Williams has been great, but have we seen anybody else on OKC just take over and dominate on the offensive end? I mean,
That's
let's make
real.
some. I think about it. Let's make somebody else. I just want to see make somebody else beat us. So hopefully Indiana's gonna respect Shea as a player and double team him and make other guys beat him. But we'll see.
I think these two teams match up very well, and so
I
it's
agree.
like it's like it reminds me of the city championship, the South Side versus the West Side. It's kind of go. You be like, hey, one team known for pressing, play a hard defense, and the other one's gonna be strategic and run plays. So when it comes to that, it's just a matter of who's gonna play well that day. I think honestly, you got to show up and show out.
Yeah. Now, something you said, Twine, right? We talk about SGA and what he doing. He able to get to whatever spot he want to get to, and those are his spots, and he gonna knock down the mid range game. One, do you respect him for using the mid range game and not stepping out beyond the three?
I love it. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I love that shit. I swear I do.
Bring the midi back.
I mean, we haven't seen the guy score in that area probably. Sam Cassell's probably the last guy we seen score at that
in
level,
bunches, in
just for
bunches
No.
though,
mid-range games.
in bunches at mid range.
Yeah, I would say in bunches that just go, he go get you. No, when you talking about 15, 16, and your points coming in mid-range, we haven't seen that since Sam Cassell. When you really think about that, so I think that's what makes him unique. He's not a volume 3-point shooter. He's not gonna bail you out.
Yeah.
That's one thing that makes Shea good. Shea put pressure on you all the time. He shooting mid range or he getting to the basket. He ain't bailing you out. So
That's
that's why I
that
say
shit.
you got to make a decision on whether or not you're gonna double team him and make others beat you, or you can't just let the man have his cake and eat it too. You got to make a decision.
That remind me of Rip Hamilton, man. When I was a rookie, man, that man shot everything midi, free throw line extended.
That's it.
Corny Alexander Rip come off either way. Everything was mid range.
That's it. Come off that
That's
curl
it.
catch,
Come
pull up
on,
at the
come on.
elbow, free throw line,
And
baseline,
what?
short corner. That's it.
Or one dribble pull up, one, two max. If it's a two dribble, you get into the middle. Okay, well I'm gonna knock this down. But I'm like, man, Shea got that shit to a T.
Yeah, yeah.
Got it to a
He
T.
he one of the very few who understand and know how to put it right there in the middle of the paint and go get his every time. And ain't nobody really stopping him to do it.
But the beautiful part is he do it at his own pace. So I
Yeah,
understand when Twine say, "Hey, shake the tree. Hey, y'all got to figure something else out. Y'all got to make somebody else beat me. Because after a
absolutely.
while, you ain't gonna just keep dribbling around the screen and just dancing in the middle of the flow and just pulling up. No, we gonna run two at you,
Yeah.
force you to pass it, or make somebody else make shots.
Who is that person you think that needs to make shots for OKC beyond if they're going ahead and send enough at SGA to shorten his game and shorten his extension throughout all 4 quarters? Who else you think that, you got Jalen Williams, you got Hardenstein, you got, so many other weapons on and they're well rounded. Who you think else needs to show up?
For me, it'd
Oh,
be I think Chet got to show up.
Yeah,
I think Chet got to score for them. He's a big part of their offense. I think if they can get 15, 20 from him, that'll be great. Obviously, Williams has to be consistent as well, in which he has been all playoffs. But I think Chet got to step it up. He got to be consistent. I think 15, 20 for him every game puts them in a really good spot because now he
good spot.
matches
Yeah.
Miles Turner. Now he matches Miles Turner production. So I think
mm,
he's got to put up production. Need him to be consistent every game.
that
And
makes
be a
sense.
lot more and be a lot more physical in the middle. We understand he's blocking everything, but be a little more physical because you know what? They're gonna try to put the pressure on him. It's the finals. It's
That's
when to
real.
go home. It's when to go home. So that little slim frame he got, they're gonna put a lot of pressure on him to try to beat his arms, his legs up, everything. They're gonna try to get to his body. So, like you said, the wear and tear is gonna tell you everything.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, Twan, you said something in the podcast not too long ago. We just put that out. If you haven't watched it, make sure y'all check it. But you talked about the importance of a team. Like you and the Heat, y'all ran the full gambit. Y'all went to the championship. How important was it for y'all? Because you talked about, y'all hung out off the court, on the court. How important was that for y'all to get y'all there to this space that they in right now? Because I feel like OKC is a little bit like that.
Oh yeah, I love what OKC does. So when they do their interviews, the way they all together, a together group. I think it's important because now you can play through mistakes. You can argue at each other. You can curse each other out. Um, and Bobby knows this. You have that respect for each other. It makes things a lot smoother every day because you're around each other. You're around each other more than you're around your family. So that's what makes you have to have that type of bond and camaraderie as a team, and if you don't have that, you can't win. And OKC has shown that. Obviously, they do it a little bit more publicly than maybe Indiana. But remember, I said when we first started, Indiana's been together a long time. So them boys get along really well. So this is two team two. This is actually two matchups with where we see teams that are really bonded. It seems like off the court too as
Correct.
well.
Correct. And not only that, it shows of them holding each other accountable when they make mistakes or miss a play. You know what I mean? Nobody got their head down. Nobody, you know what I mean? The bad, the bad gestures that you normally would see, like, damn, he's shooting too much. Nah, well, come on, make the next one. You know what I'm saying? So if that's
Yep.
the case, then you be like, hey, we gonna roll together. We win or loss. We gonna roll together. We know you can do it. Come on,
Yep,
let's get it going.
absolutely. Something that I saw this last, and again, individual awards, they mean little, but you got to respect it. And I think this last, when you look at the Eastern Conference, and you saw who ended up winning, Pascal ended up winning that team or the individual award. I think it's the Magic Johnson Award or something like that, or the Larry Bird Award for the East. And in the West is SGA. He won the Magic Johnson. Do you think that Pascal was the one deserving, or do you think that Halliburton should have got that?
I felt like Halliburton should have got it. Um, for what he did on the road in New York and setting the tone in the series, and then averaging a double double, 21 and 10, and setting the table for those guys. I definitely believe he should have got it, but I wasn't upset that Pascal got it because obviously Pascal's
Right.
their leading scorer, has probably been their most consistent scorer throughout the playoffs. But I definitely thought Hallenberg could have got the award.
Twan, you couldn't answer that no better than the way you did, my brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. SGA over there with him coming out, I'm like, all right, yeah, you did what you were supposed to do individually, and no diss to Pascal, he was killing. He put the ball in the basket, he played defense, he did everything he was supposed to do.
He played his role. He played
Yes,
what he was supposed to do, and not only that, it just comes out like that to where he everywhere at the right place at the right time. But then I see shots like the end when Halliburton did the choke, but it was a two instead of three for the game. He put him on his back.
he put him exactly,
He put him on his
exactly.
back. Hey, no, we gonna go home. Look, I got the ball. Look, I'm gonna shoot it. Like Twine said, you miss every shot you don't take,
Man,
and he
Yeah, you
showed
got
let that thing go.
if it's one thing between y'all two, I know that ball going up.
You know what
yeah.
This shot's going
I'm
up.
saying?
All right,
I play with a lot of guys that like to shoot the ball, so that's how they be like, "Oh, Bobby, I'm gonna crash. I crash. Don't worry about it. I know it. I know
man.
his move. If he go through the legs two times, okay, all right. I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch.
That man said, "Go get it off the rim, huh?"
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's going up. I know it's going up. He get to his groove. I say, okay, I know where to go. Don't worry about it.
no question.
He said, no question.
Hey, so obviously, there's a little bit of time in between Eastern Conference, Western Conference finish up, and then obviously you get into the finals. I'm sure when you guys were playing, you had a little bit of time. What was y'all doing during those? What does an NBA player in the playoffs? You at the best of the best, at the highest level. What are you doing in between them days?
Honestly, you locked in, man. You locked in. You really focus on your body. You're really not trying to do anything to distract the team. You kind of just try to stay in routine. If you can stay in routine, that's the best. So I try to stay in routine.
That's real. Bob, you had to move around real quick, huh?
Yeah, it was getting kind of loud. My bad.
No, you all good. You all good. What was you doing in between? I know you made it through the playoffs a little bit. What was you doing kind of in between them times? Was you kind of locked in, just like Twan said?
You got to be locked in. Hey, every opportunity, every game means something.
Yeah,
And I feel like, you can't take those things for granted. And so when it comes to that, you know what I mean? It's hard getting there, first of all. It ain't easy because now your teammates can change, your situation can change, you get traded, anything. So now as a player, you want to make sure you're doing the best you can and you want to provide yourself the best opportunity to be successful.
that's real. That's real with it. All right, before we get out of here, I know we coming up on time. This game about to start in literally about 30 minutes, and I know y'all out right now. Who y'all got winning game one?
Honestly, game one, I think it's always a fill-out game. I think OKC wins game one.
Okay.
And just because it's a fill-out game at home, they can feed off the energy. Indiana's coming from a really grueling, exciting series. Not to take anything away from OKC series, but that Indiana New York series was something different as far
Sure
as the
was.
emotion, the crowd, and everything that went on with that. So I can see Indiana being down this game a little bit, energy down a little bit, and OKC taking advantage of that. So I like OKC tonight, but I like a 7-game series.
Oh, you saying it's going 7?
I like it
OKC
going
game 1 is
7,
7. Okay.
but I
All
like
right.
OKC. I like OKC winning. I think it's going 7.
So you got OKC winning the first game, going 7 games, and then who you got to win it all then?
I got Indiana, man. I like Indiana.
In a game 7. Oh, that's
Yeah,
a
I like
that's a bold
Indiana.
prediction. That's
Yeah,
a
I like
bold prediction.
Indiana.
Who you got,
That's
Bobby?
that's strong.
That's
I
real
but I
strong,
will,
huh?
but that's real strong. But what I'm gonna say
Yeah.
is, I like both teams at home, and from watching the last series, Indiana can most definitely steal a game if they change the game plan, and not only that, come out and do some of the things that we actually just talked about. And I got most definitely OKC winning game one at home.
OKC. Okay. OKC winning game 1. You think they're gonna go the distance, go 7 games, or what you think? Who you think gonna come out on top?
I say OKC in 6.
OKC in 6. All right. Okay. I ain't mad at that. I think based off of the way we've been seeing them play, I think Indiana. I feel they're at it. What are they? No, they at OKC tonight. I think it's a lot of energy. They had a little bit of rest. They didn't have to go the distance as much as Indiana. I think that I think OKC wins game 1. Then I think Indiana is able to go ahead and steal one after that, and then beyond that, I feel like it's going. I think actually, Twine, you might be right. I think you might be right in the 7 game. It's going 7, in
I would
my
I
love
got.
opinion.
for it. I would love for it to go 7 because that means I'm
Oh,
going
me
to the
too.
game in East City.
I like it to go 7 too.
I
Yeah,
would
no,
love for it to go 7.
I need
yeah,
to go
yeah.
7 because we gonna run out of things to watch on TV. We finna have no TV for some months,
Man,
so I need to
listen.
go.
No, you know what? I ain't even gonna let you do it because I go watch the WNBA, the Chicago Sky. They doing their thing. It's a
Yeah,
few teams in the Liberty. I just like them for the solid way they play the game, fundamentally sound. But you're right. We ain't gonna
we
have no
got well, we
NBA
got the WNBA and the Big Three on
in the
Saturdays.
Big Three, right? Right,
All
right,
right,
right.
all
No,
right, okay.
man. Yeah, we get to see that. Nah, I appreciate it, man. Well, look, I know y'all getting ready to go watch the game. Matter of fact, where y'all at? Because I know, shoot, Bobby, you clearly out somewhere. Where you at? You
I'm
got
I'm
something
at
going
I'm
on?
at the cigar bar. I'm right behind. I'm out with Bob. I'm in the cigar bar, but I came out so I can lock into our phone call.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But I'm in the cigar bar. I'm gonna sit back, smoke me a cigar, and enjoy the game.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm at spot 73 events where the event space on 73rd and Halsted was black owned. You got good food. You got cocktails, you got entertainment, things like that. Just
There it
enjoying
is.
ourselves. A lot of brothers out here just fellowshipping.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. And then Antoine, you ain't done for the night. You got more things. You got nightcap popping, you know what I'm saying? You run
But no,
you
I'm
run
game for it. I'm game for it.
Oh, you game for it.
Listen. I am part of Nightcap's team, but my
Yeah.
game where I got game for it. I'm
You
okay.
got game for it. I was like,
Hey,
dang.
if you saw the promotion, it's a couple of us, so we taking a game apiece.
Y'all got a game apiece. Okay, I
Yeah.
love it. All right.
So
I
I got
rock with
game
it.
for it. I'm okay.
All right, bet. Well, look, we're going to have to do this again, man. Let's go ahead and try and figure out game 2. We'll go ahead and lock in and chop it up after this, and then we'll definitely get back on the second half. I appreciate y'all jumping on. This the second half live. We ain't done this before, and this the first one, and I had to get my big bros on there.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
Jay, I appreciate it.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Twan, Bobby,
Yes, sir.
appreciate everybody. Second half. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Like, follow, subscribe. We'll be back game 2. Peace.
All right. Game time.